The DC cinematic universe has been rebooted so many times that fans have almost lost count.
Crap, mega crap.
But this time, Warner Brothers has handed the reins to James Gunn. With a track record of successful superhero films like Guardians of the Galaxy, The Suicide Squad, and the Peacemaker series, Gunn certainly has a creative edge. But can we truly count on him to handle the massive responsibility of steering the entire DC universe?
So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCEU is connected.
In the past, Warner Brothers gave this responsibility to Zack Snyder, and honestly, that decision made sense at the time. Snyder was already an established filmmaker, known for delivering visually stunning, impactful films like 300, Watchmen, and Sucker Punch. He had more experience than Gunn when it came to handling large-scale projects.
My involvement with the DC world and with this trilogy of movies, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, now Justice League, started probably with my love of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, as well as Watchmen, which came out around the same time, and both influenced me a great deal in, one, my love of sort of DC properties and DC as like the home of deconstructive, subversive comic books. It really influenced the way I thought about movies and the way I thought about storytelling in general.
And his first DC outing, Man of Steel, was a solid success, both critically and financially. However, things started going downhill with Batman vs. Superman. Not because of Snyder's vision, but largely due to studio interference. The theatrical cut of the film was heavily criticized for its pacing and lack of coherence, issues that were largely fixed in the extended cut. This pattern of Warner Bros. Meddling with Snyder's projects continued with Justice League, where his original vision was replaced by Joss Whedon's much-criticized reshoots. Now, let's dive into the numbers, because they tell a crucial part of the story. Consider Suicide Squad, 2016, directed by David Ayer. The film had a production budget of $175 million and grossed approximately $749 million worldwide. Despite being a box office hit, the film was a critical disaster, with many fans and critics calling it incoherent and rushed. Fast forward to The Suicide Squad, 2021. Directed by James Gunn. With a slightly higher production budget of $185 million, the film received glowing reviews from critics and fans alike. However, it grossed only around $169 million globally, a massive financial disappointment for Warner Brothers. Despite the improved quality, it failed to generate the kind of profit the studio needed to justify its investment. This pattern extends to Zack Snyder's Justice League. The 2021 Snyder Cut was a critical success and a huge win for fans who campaigned tirelessly to see Snyder's original vision. However, since it was released on HBO Max and not in theaters, it didn't earn the studio significant revenue. These examples highlight a troubling trend. Great films don't always translate to box office success, especially when audiences are skeptical about the franchise as a whole. So, while James Gunn's DC Universe might deliver critically acclaimed movies, can it generate the kind of profits needed to sustain a franchise of this scale? That's a question that remains unanswered. Let's take another example. Todd Phillips's Joker. His first film was a masterpiece, receiving widespread acclaim and doing exceptionally well at the box office. But the sequel is struggling to replicate the same success and faces high expectations. Similarly, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had its ups and downs. While some films like Joss Whedon's Avengers were massive successes, his work on Justice League is universally criticized. Marvel also faced setbacks with Thor, Love and Thunder, and the She-Hulk series. Yet, despite these failures, Marvel hasn't rebooted or removed characters. Chris Hemsworth's Thor, for example, had a rough start with his first film, but Marvel stuck with the character, and over time, Thor became one of the most beloved superheroes in the MCU. This shows that even with flops, characters and directors can bounce back. James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is another example. It was a near-perfect adaptation, staying fun and comic accurate while giving us heartwarming character arcs. But the MCU operates on a different tone. Most of its films follow a set formula of lighthearted humor, something that resonates well with audiences. DC, however, is a different beast altogether. Its comics, shows, and most iconic storylines lean heavily toward darker themes. Snyder's films reflected this serious tone, which was faithful to the essence of DC. But will Gunn's lighter, comedic style fit into this world? That remains to be seen. Suicide Squad is one thing. It's meant to be wild and crazy, even in the comics. But Justice League? That's an entirely different tone. It demands epic storytelling, emotional depth, and a sense of grandeur. Whether Gunn can deliver this remains to be seen. For now, all eyes are on Superman, Legacy. This film will set the tone for the new DC universe, and its success or failure will determine the audience's confidence in Gunn's vision. Fingers crossed that Gunn delivers a vision that's not just unique, but also respectful of DC's rich history.